or sweet talk with plenty lie inside. Then now, na the term for slip the headlines there and tell the story just like it is. Brutally frank goes where others won't, exposing the real stories behind the headlines.
We tackle issues of maximum importance to the growth of Sierra Leone, from politics to the economy, agriculture, education, health, and tourism,
by serving as your voice in asking the why, where, how, and when questions to the people them we responsible. This na brutally frank.
This is Brutally Frank,
showing every Sunday at 7 p.m. on Slik TV, channel 37, and streaming live on our Facebook page and official website. You don't tire for your boku talk with no substance or sweet talk with plenty lie inside. Then now, na the term for strip the headlines there and tell the story just like it is. Brutally frank goes where others won't, exposing the real stories behind the headlines.
We tackle issues of maximum importance to the growth of Sierra Leone, from politics to the economy, agriculture, education, health, and tourism,
by serving as your voice in asking the why, where, how, and when questions to the people them we responsible. This na brutally frank.
This is Brutally Frank,
showing every Sunday at 7 p.m. on Slik TV, channel 37, and streaming live on our Facebook page and official website. You don't tire for your boku talk with no substance or sweet talk with plenty lie inside. Then now, na the term for strip the headlines there and tell the story just like it is. Brutally frank goes where others won't.
Human capital development, now the bedrock upon which strong societies are built. Now this particular statement, now one way President Biodon repeat over and over and over again. That is why when he be the run back in the 2023 elections, he point out say, Salon go really develop faster if we strengthen with human capital. And his promise to this nation was that his entire government and the strategy and everything that they are doing therefore revolve around strengthening with human capital capacity. Because that's waiting we're able for sustain we as a country. However, fast forward to 2025, the nation currently they battle with a deadly drug in the country, Kush. Now, government don't implement several strategies, don't try different methods them for really help for curb this particular drug common our nation. But what did happen over the years? Instead of say, oh, the drug they go away and people they less be inclined for they into them, it seemed like the trade is just expanding. It's just booming. From just getting 1-2 dead body in a treats that are drug related, now it's kind of a norm in the country. Like every other day, you go meet 4, 5, 6. To the point that there was even a clash between government agencies them on who that get the responsibility for really look into that. Plenty people don't cry. Plenty people don't say a lot in terms of how can we get rid of this thing, pull and come on our country. We make the president during the course of the week behold series engagements them. He visited the rehabilitation center. He had a high-level stakeholder dialogue. And inside them meetings then he promised stronger measures, strengthening the capacity of institutions then for ensure say they deliver. And make a general call to everybody in Sierra Leone that we should all join in the fight, because that's the only way we can win. However, the question is, was this statement made at the right time? The president act fast enough in this fight against Kush? Have we been proactive, or are we just being reactive? And the measures themselves where the presidents don't propose, do we have the logistics and the capacity for see them to completion? All this and many more now waiting we get for discuss inside the show tonight. So viewers, welcome to No Man's Land. This na Brutally Frank. And me, na James Fortune. Like always, I there so with.
My name Melvin Tijan Mansari. Fambu Ekushe Ekabo. Inside today's edition of Brutally Frank, we look at the topic, a forensic look into President Bio's visit to the Crush Rehabilitation Center and Francis Benkelfala's comments on the death penalty for Crush dealers and traders. And as we guest them for talk about this topic, we will be shortly joined by Mike Bewa, we na the Director of Communications na State House, and also Ibrahim Samuel Duba, Director of Drug Prevention, Education and Training, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. And from the civil society standpoint, Habib Taigori Kamara, we are the Executive Director of social, well, a civil society organization dealing with this, who can tell you much more about. But in tonight's conversation, we always know the filter, we always want to forget the facts, we want to forget the data, and one thing we will assure you, that is all about the show. So stay tight, grab your popcorn or whatever you get, because tonight it's going to be really brutally frank, because we have our brutal guest. Welcome to Brutally Frank.
Okay, so you can also follow the show live via our Facebook page at Slik TV channel 37. You can also follow me live on Facebook via our Epic Radio page at Epic Radio 99.3 FM. Stay with us. This is Brutally Frank. We'll be right back.
Questions to the people them we responsible.
This is Brutally Frank.
This is Brutally Frank.
Showing every Sunday at 7 p.m. on Slik TV, channel 37, and streaming live on our Facebook page and official website.
You don't tire for your boku talk with no substance, or sweet talk with plenty lie inside. Then now, na the time for strip the headlines bare and tell the story just like it is. Brutally Frank goes where others won't, exposing the real stories behind the headlines.
We tackle issues of maximum importance to the growth of Sierra Leone, from politics to the economy, agriculture, education, health, and tourism.
By serving as your voice in asking the why, where, how, and when questions to the people them we responsible.
This is Brutally Frank.
This is Brutally Frank.
Showing every Sunday at 7 p.m. on Slik TV, channel 37, and streaming live on our Facebook page and official website.
You don't tire for your boku talk with no substance, or sweet talk with plenty lie inside. Then now, na the time for strip the headlines bare and tell the story just like it is. Brutally Frank goes where others won't, exposing the real stories behind the headlines.
We tackle issues of maximum importance to the growth of Sierra Leone, from politics to the economy, agriculture, education, health, and tourism.
By serving as your voice in asking the why, where, how, and when questions to the people them we responsible.
This is Brutally Frank.
This is Brutally Frank.
Showing every Sunday at 7 p.m. on Slik TV, channel 37, and streaming live on our Facebook page and official website.
You don't tire for your boku talk with no substance, or sweet talk with plenty lie inside. Then now, na the time for strip the headlines bare and tell the story just like it is. Brutally Frank goes where others won't, exposing the real stories behind the headlines.
We tackle issues of maximum importance to the growth of Sierra Leone, from politics to the economy, agriculture, education, health, and tourism.
By serving as your voice in asking the why, where, how, and when questions to the people them we responsible.
This is Brutally Frank.
This is Brutally Frank.
Showing every Sunday at 7 p.m. on Slik TV, channel 37, and streaming live on our Facebook page and official website.
You don't tire for your boku talk with no substance, or sweet talk with plenty lie inside. Then now, na the time for strip the headlines bare and tell the story just like it is. Brutally Frank goes where others won't, exposing the real stories behind the headlines.
We tackle issues of maximum importance to the growth of Sierra Leone, from politics to the economy, agriculture, education, health, and tourism.
By serving as your voice in asking the why, where, how, and when questions to the people them we responsible.
This na Brutally Frank.
This is Brutally Frank, showing every Sunday at 7 p.m.
on Slik TV, channel 37, and streaming live on our Facebook page and official website.
You don't tire for your boku talk with no substance or sweet talk with plenty lie inside. Then now na the time for strip the headlines bare and tell the story just like it is. Brutally Frank goes where others won't, exposing the real stories behind the headlines.
We tackle issues of maximum importance to the growth of Sierra Leone, from politics to the economy, agriculture, education, health, and tourism.
By serving as your voice in asking the why, where, how, and when questions to the people them we responsible.
This na Brutally Frank.
This is Brutally Frank, showing every Sunday at 7 p.m. on Slik TV, channel 37, and streaming live on our Facebook page
and official website.
You don't tire for your boku talk with no substance or sweet talk with plenty lie inside. Then now na the time for strip the headlines bare and tell the story just like it is. Brutally Frank goes where others won't, exposing the real stories behind the headlines.
We tackle issues of maximum importance to the growth of Sierra Leone, from politics to the economy, agriculture, education, health, and tourism.
By serving as your voice in asking the why, where, how, and when questions to the people them we responsible.
This na Brutally Frank.
This is Brutally Frank, showing every Sunday at 7 p.m. on Slik.
Fiesta. Fiesta. Fiesta.
You don't tire for your boku talk with no substance or sweet talk with plenty lie inside. Then now na the time for strip the headlines bare and tell the story just like it is. Brutally Frank goes where others won't, exposing the real stories behind the headlines.
We tackle issues of maximum importance to the growth of Sierra Leone, from politics to the economy, agriculture, education, health, and tourism.
By serving as your voice in asking the why, where, how, and when questions to the people them we responsible.
This na Brutally Frank.
This is Brutally Frank, showing every Sunday at 7 p.m. on Slik TV, channel 37, and streaming live on our Facebook page
and official website. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, the program where you listen and watch na Brutally Frank, where they come to you live here on Slik TV, channel 37. We also do live via our Facebook page at Slik TV, and you can also watch we live via our Epic Radio page at Epic Radio. Tonight on the show, we take a forensic look into President Bio in visit to the Kush Rehabilitation Center. And on the side note as well, Commissioner Francis Ben-Kelfala in comments about introducing the death penalty for those found wanting when it comes to whether they are dealers, suppliers, or whoever they may be, but as long as they are involved in peddling kush, sending it out to the people them out there. However, for discuss this tonight, we've been joined by Mike Berewa, we're the Director of Communications na State House. Good evening and welcome to the show.
Good evening, Slik TV. Happy to be here.
And we are happy to have you. And then we get Habib Taigori Kamara, we're an Executive Director of Social Linkages for Youth Development and Childlink. Good evening and welcome to the show.
Yeah, good evening, TV, and good evening, Sierra Leoneans right across the globe.
Okay, so we'll get on straight with it. I will start with you, Mike. Precisely the visit of President Bio to the Kush Rehabilitation Center. Why it be need for take this long?
Well, I don't know why you feel say it takes too long. President is a very busy person. He His schedule very busy, very busy. Yeah, so many things in way they do on a daily basis. And you see, 2024, President established the state of emergency after there was crash in the country. First of all, what I want to establish is when any government or any country declares state of emergency, that is the highest security alert within the country. That means there's an epidemic. That means they take us seriously. Behind the scenes, a lot happened. A lot. I know so when I will get to that. A lot happens. Mobilization of funds, mobilizing state agencies and political come together, training of healthcare personnel, establishing of rehabilitation centers, mobilizing resources from international partners, training community health workers at chiefdom levels and all that. A lot happened.
Okay.
Yes, prevalence change in epidemiology. What I mean by that, the pattern of the disease, the change. With all that, little impact was felt, even though we have success stories, but much was not realized because of maybe budget constraint, no proper monitoring, coordination, something will be there. You don't get me what I mean?
Yeah.
Then after when people begin dying, and they drop in states, all that dramatic thing, gain public attention. So President went there for two things. One, President went there to see the rehabilitation center with a revamp.
Okay.
Look at the structures, look at what is needed, talk to the staff where they did, talk to the personnel where they did. Then also, for talk with the victims, and daddy, you get what I mean? Now daddy, get a frank, like I already say, brutally frank conversation.
Okay.
With the people that went at the victim, the kush addicts and ask them what to make them take them.
Okay, let's maybe just backpedal a bit and come back to the declaration of the state of emergency. From the time where President Bill declared the state of emergency, if we're going by the statistics and the data them where they out there, let's take council for example. Mention that then they take now twice the amount of dead body than a treat that are based on assumption could be related to that. And you look at the prevalence of the drug in itself in our country, young people are still heavily it's into the drug, and the drug still, the trade they boom in the country. Would you really say with all of the realities then the state of emergency get the necessary impact we're supposed to get?
Yes, it did.
Okay.
Let me explain to you. See, there's a lot happened. If you give me a chance, I can able to tell you what the state of emergency did. Right?
Okay. Could we speak to the rehabilitation center specifically?
Well, don't narrow me to what I want to talk to. Let me just talk about what happened behind this whole thing. I get the data our bring come, go on a government response. After you say there was intersectoral approach, and let me understand, say, not only, thank God my brother there, not only NDLA normal responsible for affecting the work. It's a multifaceted approach. It's an intersectoral thing, right? You get Ministry of Health, where they provide treatment and care. You get Ministry of Social Welfare, we're responsible for reintegration and rehabilitation. You get law enforcement, where in the police staff also they come inside. You get local council, we're responsible for local government, we're responsible for integration with local councils and all that. And the Ministry of Youth, where the youth and more they affect. So that intersectoral approach, it happened a lot for us in the background. After you say, we don't even get a lot of experts then on mental health. People are not interested in it. With the people where they go study, they're not interested in it.
With the intersectoral approach, I'm sorry that I had to interject anyways.
It's okay.
With the intersectoral approach that you mentioned, we get a bit of a hurdle. Like we had a standstill between Ministry of Local Government and that of the Freetown City Council when it comes to who clears dead bodies from streets. And there was that whole kind of standoff. Would you really say the intersectoral approach, like how you describe them now, being so strong and working effectively? If you did work, then why that?
Well, you have to blame the council.
Okay.
And this has always been my argument, bro. Yeah, to be very sincere. You know, I mean, nobody know the dispute, say the mayor not people in streets. FCC gets something into this. Yeah, to be very candid enough. But we have standard operating procedures in this country. This country is a country of laws, bro. Yeah, it is a country of laws. Not of today, people are not making big Bodina State. Yeah, we have a SOP, a standard operating procedure. Where number one, let people understand for the benefit of people then. When you get Bodina State, the first thing they call 117. After 117, they alert Ministry of Health, then they alert the burial team. The burial team now, they can retrieve that body, they go put on a mortuary for 14 days. After 14 days, the burial team, they notify the chief medical officer, who get the sole responsibility for do an examine on that body for determine the cause of death. After that, then when they don't determine the cause of death, then the Freetown City Council then they issue burial permit, allocate grave, and also prepare burial logistics. Then after that, do contact tracing with the family. If they put them at the mortuary 14 days, nobody can claim them. Then the ministry can bury them. So if Freetown City Council see Bodina Street, collaborate with all the interagencies there. Call the police. Call the Ministry of Health. Call social welfare. Call the chief examiner. We would determine. Don't forget, my brother, we have a heightened influx of homelessness in this country. You have a lot of people who are homeless when they die in the streets, who are all not associated to Just Kush. They are. When they die in the street, one day they pass right now to see somebody they in wheelchair. He died there.
Okay.
He died there. You can determine saying a Kush. I know they say Kush patients and not they die in the street. That is not my argument. But for epidemiology purposes, we want to know who said they die. We want to know.
And are those structures, then frameworks, then they all where you talk, are they available? Are they functional?
I just outline them to you. I even bring I bring the comprehensive thing there. I just outline how they are still get standard operating procedure for burial. Also today people don't begin.
How operational are the operating procedures?
They are active, they are operational. There is something you will say maybe it's slow, it's not effective. But guess what? If mayor intercollaborates with all the agencies they are responsible, so then pull a report. Let me come. Then pull a report. Say 200 bodies and I will pick, 400 bodies will pick, so will pick this body, but local council involved, Ministry of Health involved, ONS involved, the police involved, everybody involved. Nobody not for question in activity. Because it's intersectoral.
Okay,
now everybody.
We'll pick up from this point shortly. Let's go for a short break, and then when we come back, we'll continue this conversation.
You don't tire for your boku talk with no substance, or sweet talk with plenty lie inside. Then now the time for strip the headlines bare and tell the story just like it is. Brutally Frank goes where others won't, exposing the real stories behind the headlines.
We tackle issues of maximum importance to the growth of Sierra Leone, from politics to the economy, agriculture, education, health, and tourism.
By serving as your voice in asking the why, where, how, and when questions to the people them we responsible.
This na Brutally Frank.
This is Brutally Frank, showing every Sunday at 7 p.m. on Slik TV, channel 37, and streaming live on our Facebook page
and official website.
You don't tire for your boku talk with no substance, or sweet talk with plenty lie inside. Then now the time for strip the headlines bare and tell the story just like it is. Brutally Frank goes where others won't, exposing the real stories behind the headlines.
We tackle issues of maximum importance to the growth of Sierra Leone, from politics to the economy, agriculture, education, health, and tourism.
By serving as your voice in asking the why, where, how, and when questions to the people them we responsible.
This na Brutally Frank.
This is Brutally Frank, showing every Sunday at 7 p.m. on Slik TV, channel 37, and streaming live on our Facebook page
and official website.
Brutally Frank on Slik Television, channel 37, and we get in the studio Mike Beyawa and Inner Director of Communications in the State House. And of course, we get a civil society voice, Mr. Abid Kamara, we serve there for help we give juice to the conversation. MYK, I listened to many of the submissions we don't make, and thanks so much. But I guess from April 4, 2024, when the president been declared emergency on drugs and substance abuse, it therefore take 1 year, 7 months for visits a rehabilitation center. What did take the president so long?
Yeah, well, I think he asked me the same question. I just explained to you, say, the president is a very busy person. For the president travel, go some side. If not, go find somebody in a place safe. Or go work at any institution. It takes a lot of coordination and logistics to that. I know they say president not treat out priority. But like I say, president don't do a lot behind the scenes. We're very important person visit us. Coordination, training of personnel, inter-agency collaboration for empower other structures like the Ministry of Health, how you call them, public health. And don't forget, Melvin, now during this thing back, Mpox came. So we're dealing with a lot of other issues. President, they travel, get other present in the way we don't come before that. I know they say not the treat them. Yeah? But let me ask yourself this question. In air setting, do presidents even need for goodie? If our structures are really working, you get to that president as a ceremony as a fountain of honor of this country. I know they tell you, see, president, not for goodie. You don't get, it's symbolic. You don't get to tell the try for talk. A lot of people will say, oh, yes, I agree. But for me, as a person, as Mike, as Director of Communications Office of the President, the most important thing the President do, now we declare state of emergency. You are a very learned young man. You know what it means when it says state of emergency. It is very important that you don't alert the whole world, say, this issue where we have an epidemic. This issue where there, we don't treat as seriously. When you say state of emergency, the powers deal with the president now. The powers don't come out from all other persons. The president get the powers now.
Okay, Mike, I think when you say that particular point, when you say the power now deal with the president, hence the reason why we are asking, with that much power comes enormous responsibility. But then, how many rehabilitation centers do we have as we speak now?
You have to also understand it's resources. Drug programs are very extensive and expensive. Even countries where get health systems in place, countries where get structures in place, they battle this.
Yeah, but then when you declare a state of emergency, is it not part of the thing that it gives you now room for direct more resources to that particular thing? Because it is urgent.
So this is what I say. I'll tell you, say, sometimes we talk about resources. Sometimes one agency, because na inguna parliament will talk, say they don't get resources. And see me what they are going.
The leading agency.
Yes, that's the leading, but it's not only the agency. That agency are lead for coordinates. We look at their mandates.
So they are significant.
So if you talk, very significant. If you talk about treatment and care, you don't go give that money to how you call it, NDLU for disposal. You go to Ministry of Health for that. If you talk about rehabilitation and integration, you have to bring the social welfare coming here. So now I can tell you, see, in every disease, even them 5 directives your presidents again, it can possibly say after 6 months, it'll change back.
Okay. MIK, before Fortune interject with the question follow-up, you mentioned that if structures were working, it does not need the president for take this lead or take on to the level where it take on. Agreed. But are you saying, in reverse, that the National Task Force on Drugs and Substance Abuse, not that as the president been pronounced, can you say they've not worked for the last 1 year, 6 months?
No, they've done something.
No, you said
so.
If
the need for
let's take it from the task force.
Okay.
If you can rate them on a scale from 1 to 5.
I will rate
1 year, 6 months after this probably came.
I will rate them 5.
5.
Yes.
On what basis?
That's just what I wanted to outline. If you can give me a chance.
You can go ahead.
All right. I put some notes here, just looking at what they don't do, like with them since President formed this. And my brothers will testify that. First of all, this whole thing begets after that. I remember one time we'll get conversation yesterday. They asked for a comprehensive strategy. You say, I brought that for you.
Okay.
So,
is it available for the public?
It's available on, I would say, not the wrong side. I don't say not the wrong side. And then the public health, Sierra Leone public health website. You go able to get on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But where government formed and they get 5 strategic focus, Melvin, right? 1 for training community leaders in drug abuse and prevention. We'll see that they don't happen across this country. They don't train more nurses on mental health. They don't train more psychosocial support staff across chiefdom levels, more community CHOs them across this country. The next thing back now, 2 for distribution of drug chain through investigation, arrest and prosecution. I need some money for the done yonder. But Melvin, me and you will agree, say, what they see on social media, then they arrest people they will. We don't see what they don't, then they bomb, tramadol them. With all kudos to NDLA, I mean, with all limited resources, then they join Toku, then they go out on outreach, then they do hate them. Yeah, it's just that sometimes the media not they focus on that. Now people that we don't die, now then they focus on. But they have been doing that. Not on something where we go right out, say totally they have not been doing that. 3 also,
I just told you on that. When you say the media, I hear the part talk about people and go and radio. I think he emphasized that in many of the engagements over the weekend. But this is not just about the media. Let me just give you a report from the State Department, indicting not just weak institutions but also the judiciary. And I don't think you would tell me say that's not the media the pelts at all. I will read them. And you can access it on the State Department website. And interestingly, the period of time is under your administration. It says, in Sierra Leone, drug trafficking and money laundering remain prevalent, with the country being used as its shipment point from South America, Asia to Europe, and to a lesser extent, the United States. Corruption is a pervasive problem in Sierra Leone that compromises citizens' access to basic public service and institutions such as health, education, and the police. The criminal justice system is inefficient and backlogged. This is not the media saying, this is the State Department saying. And from you coming from State House, how much work have you done to change this kind of
direction? A lot. If you take a look at corruption as a whole, you look at the indexes and indices of corruption, level of corruption, we've made gains into it. Where the State Department make mention. That's why we got the MCC.
Yeah, but I said corruption is one of the problems.
Yes, but
the institutions.
But the question you ask is, what are we doing? Listen, Melvin.
I guess the question is, are these impediments?
They are not enough.
Are these impediments not undermining the fight against drug and substance abuse?
Well,
that's my question.
They will undermine it, to be very sincere.
Are they undermining
it? If corruption is, they will undermine. Yes, corruption. It's. Let me tell you, Melvin. I mean, look, we get law enforcement officers. Then we get cases where when people they go make arrests, then come back, with them hold the drug, we don't hear anything in there, you don't get to tell me, then they turn it back into the community. So this comes to civic responsibility and citizens' responsibility. So President Biyo is the ceremonial head of this country. He sits here. He gives direction. That is one of the paramount role of a president, giving direction. So when I go so hard, I support you and I do this. But it is on you and me. Melvin, it's just on you and me. Why do I take this personal?
That's a deflection.
Yeah, it is.
Because it's the duty of the state as the bearers of greatest responsibility for take the responsibility. You cannot tell me that, for example, in the issue of just like Jekers, a community intervention go help for curtail that. It takes the highest political will. No, that's what people are saying.
Yeah, community intervention will take for curtail because you know why?
Which one will take more preeminence?
So community
highest political will,
the people's power. Melvin, the people's power. Yeah, you know why I say the people's power? Look at it this way, bro. Even this whole thing where the pets so kush, Melvin, we always sit on here. We know one person where would they sell this. We know that one person we could take.
Actually, I don't. I don't sabi anybody who is selling.
Well, as a journalist, continue.
You are coming to a point,
right? Yeah, we all do. Yeah. In a sense,
you attempt for announce or go report that person. You go see the guy say come, and then the person come back to the community.
So there comes the responsibility is that. So there comes back to our laws, our provisions. So if you take a look at President Biyo in 5 strategies the way he give, there is 2 in the strategy, 3 and 4, we make about a new practice direction. We also talk about empowering the Attorney General to look at we laws then. We laws are old. Bro, me and you guys are very young learned guys who I admire a lot. But now this is brutally frank.
Yeah. So brutally frank, the lawyers, they're weak?
We laws are weak when it comes to drug.
The national drug law?
We laws are weak.
Is it weak?
It's weak. Yeah. It's weak. Listen, our laws are, our laws are archaic.
That act needs
to be reviewed.
In terms of what?
Okay, if you take a look at it, it's about drug. If you look at that, it's the same.
In terms of what area? In terms of
okay, I'm coming. If you take a look at it, it makes mention of what? Drug and Tobacco Act. You don't get what I mean. If you take a look at the Lunacy Act, that covers where you do in countries. If you take a look at the National Drug Act in America, it doesn't just have its comprehensive.
Yes, but my
I just a week.
Okay, in terms of punishment, in terms of fines,
okay, first of all, we don't even have a definitive clear terms where you say if the whole use kush. Like first of all, you're not defined it as kush. You're not defined. Okay, you don't get to that because laws. Let me tell you, Melvin. Let me tell you something. Laws, listen.
I'm sure the NDLA man will go for
yes, you're not defined. We'll get a synthetic drug. I want to understand one thing here about this thing. This whole kush thing. Kush is not a ready-made drug. It's not. So when you look at the provisions back, if you get a good lawyer, it's a play bandy. It is not something to say, now kush and not put inside container and don't counter. The reagents, someone that they take for make kush smell, you have formaldehyde, nitazine, you have acetone. These are things that we need back as human beings. They get good effects back. You need formaldehyde for how you call it, for embalm body. You need acetone.
That's not an argument.
No,
the argument is the concoction.
So listen now.
So end up from
so this is what I'm saying. Even with the law, the laws will they get lacunas them inside.
Okay, well let's speak to the law specifically.
No,
I'm not asking you any legal question. Waiting at the say. Now, when we started this conversation, you mentioned, say, the president declared state of emergency, and then you went on about the importance and the significance where state of emergency they play. If we go back to basic constitutional principles, the reason why they make president they declare state of emergency now for allow them give them that power where ordinarily would not be there, meaning say you they cut the time, that amount of time we need for spend per one thing. With a state of emergency being declared, you can speedily get it into action. If you are highlighting now that the Drug Act, of 2008 gets significant lacunas, then the question is, within this 1 year 6 months, what really have you guys been doing?
I just wanted to outline that.
Where is it? No, but Mike, wait. So if you say that you all get problem, why is it that we cannot deal with the problem?
This is the problem. From that this is the problem I always get with people on air. Yeah. If anybody can tell me, say President Bio not do nothing, drug it since we declare a state of emergency, I take that personal. Because this is a man I work within his office. This is a man I've spoken to. Even before the appointment, Melvin.
Yeah, of course. And I think nobody's saying that.
Right. Before the appointment, where I can visit her and for congratulate them. I can't holiday. I'm going to host me. She don't one-on-one. That was 2019. I told President Bio 3 things. One of the things that I make mention about drug. And I know how passionately, within body language and everything, how he care about that. Nobody not ever empower young people in this country reach President.
So why did we not reform the laws for giving the leeway for giving
so the point why they raise this now is the laws that all that they goes together now. During the state of emergency now, now this all people don't do it from the background.
So then they're already, like you're saying now that they've already drafted, a repeal or replacement of the act.
I just want to highlight what they do during this time to now. Because the question here is, a lot of people out there, governments not do nothing for what is this state of emergency.
Yeah, but I will not have a conversation that here. We're speaking specifically.
Right. I will not have a conversation for let someone tell me, say, government needs to do more. Yeah, that is objective and fair conversation. We haven't done more because we have constraints with budget, we have constraints with coordination, we have constraints with resources. I just make mention here it's an extensive and expensive journey. Countries, the way they structures, health systems, the way they work, Then they battle with this.
Like, when you say expensive journey, so far, what's the government not spend for the last 1 year we declare public emergency on this fight on the
That is hard to collate, Melvin. Because when you look, I cannot put a tag on that. I will lie for people.
But we're saying the
but what sort of resources? Resources don't mean to pass money.
Of course, but
but I don't able to tell you quantify how much they spend for training. Sometimes a collaboration.
And that's why some critics are saying this fight is not data driven.
Well, it's okay. That could be one of the challenges. You
agree with that?
That could be one of the challenges. Yes,
and you agree with that?
Yes, because even when you take a look at new policies now, where the Public Health Agency put out is now they get a national dashboard. Wherein on a national dashboard, you can see how many cases they don't.
Like Ebola or COVID-19.
So people will be informed.
So why now? Why now? Why not implement it?
Well, all that you have to look at in epidemiology, when you look at the study of the outbreak, there's a lot of other things that may be a priority for us. Sometimes during the internet, they then 5 things our president outlined. We talk about prevention. They talk about care and treatment. They talk about rehabilitation and reintegration, talking about community engagement, talking about law enforcement. Those were the priorities. Even though there's 5 pillars the new president mean, almost the other things they are there inside. But, Melvin, this country, first, I'll let you understand something. Me and you go agree now, I say, we are faced with a lot of challenges.
Agreed. But NYK, was it not an embarrassment when the president said, a better way I can visit because I not be understanding pillar they are well, and you have beautifully outlined it, and like you do now in speech before now, how the president go make a declare a public emergency on an issue, and he come back for say, I not be understanding pillar I well, a better way I can. No, was that not neglect of duty on the side?
No, it's not a neglect on duty on the side.
It is what?
It's not because when you take a look at public health,
yeah.
You have specific data they inform you for you declare an emergency. So the declaration of emergency was informed by data. You get to tell the try for talk. Like you look at the prevalence, you look at how many people.
How many people were affected by the time he declared that emergency?
I say it's informed by data, right? By data, by then we get about 6,000 people. Then we ministry no more don't report from areas. Then we ministry get control. We're already affected by that, and not only kush. Now, substance abuse, that is how they put it. But under substance abuse, the majority of them, of course, are kush related. Yeah? So, based on that, it was alarming. You don't get to tell me then.
So, the part will just make this statement, I will read that for you verbatim. Point 12 in the guys. He said, the National Task Force will be responsible for implementing a 5-part strategy for a drug-free future, which includes 1, prevention. I will not belabor the point. 2, care and treatment.
Yes.
3, social services support. 4, law enforcement. 5, community engagement. So in that situation where they visit a rehabilitation center, it's my understanding that is dealing with social service support. If we don't talk about a year ago.
No. Well, visiting the rehabilitation center is not social service support. You make mention of...
No, understand me. Yeah. From the interactions there, you see Madam Melrose, kudos to her, the minister. She was very... Although the public didn't say talk Rio, which is fine, the public will understand. But it's very clear that social service support, Ministry of Social Welfare, within that rehabilitation center, in my estimation, I stand for be corrected, then it provides social service support in the sense of rehabilitation
and reintegration to society.
So how comes the part talk about this 1 year ago? They talk now say, you understand, passing away it go at the center.
So when the president mentioned say I don't understand, I don't fully understand. If impossible say it's not fully understand, maybe even the patients them, when they talk to them, like try to understand why then they take them. The family dynamics, social and economic problems the modern they face. So that again a deep, in-depth understanding. It's different from what Michael goes you don't to him. But this thing I don't do, or Minister of Health goes you don't to him. Say this is the data, this is. So when president say you don't get a full understanding, president don't get to touch with the people.
Okay, let me get full understanding before you declare the public emergency.
No, but I don't explain to you now. Okay, before you declare state of emergency, Melvin. You have parameters in public health. You have parameters you look at.
Let me ask you this. Yes. Has this fight, when it comes to defeating and just setting it aside, push generally like okay, like common the country. Okay, fine. have it ever been? You say you're not able to come out. We're not able to defeat her. Then why are we fighting?
We alleviate it. So there's a difference between alleviating it and eradication. Because this is a societal problem. It's an intrinsic behavior. It's just like tobacco. Then they write and they say, but you do not smoke. No, let me come. Let me land. Tobacco, they write and they clear say, do not smoke is dangerous for your health. You have a lot of, in fact, some of these things, when I say it, people say I not get sympathy, Melvin. But Kush is not the first 10 killer diseases of this country. We get people that will die of tobacco smoking more than people that will die of Kush. Yeah, my dad died of that. He died of cancer. So you understand what I'm saying? At a very young age, because
you're saying that
tobacco is legal.
It's legal. You understand? So they have been drug back in some countries that they're illegal now. Recreational drugs.
So like you're saying that we are not fighting the fight. No, really win. No, you are not president. You
are not getting. You not.
No, but you just said that we are not going to defeat it.
You can defeat drugs.
Okay.
This is, let me be real. No, it's a brutally frank thing. No, that's why I'm excited to be here. You cannot defeat drug. Stop every Sierra Leonean from taking drug. You go alleviate them by putting structures in place, soft penalties. People that what they do, you go make them become unfashionable. It's just like corruption. You cannot defeat corruption in Sierra Leone, but you go make them less fashionable. You go make them people fret for one. You go make people look at. So this is what I'm saying. We cannot eradicate it. This is the truth. I'm not politically correct. Me, I'm not the kind of station that begins to talk to you.
I mean, I'm your boots of frank notes. I mean, I like you. You know, I like you. I like you.
I love you too, Melvin.
When the president say, when the president talk about blame game, and I know I don't follow you. You also talk about blame game, and there are people in your administration who said, oh, the opposition or robots or over dramatizing or overblowing of the issue. I just wonder, this blame game thing, is the president upset?
Yeah, well, so this is where we start a little bit be upset. We are starting me engagement then. I mean, Liberty TV, I was a little flare up, because we come sit down here to talk about things that would affect people. Then people they say presidents they do nothing. So this is where I take exception. Melvin, you and I had a conversation on phone. It was very nationalistic. That is what I want to sit on. Where APC man and cowards do not talk how they handle this.
Yeah, but the president he talk about you mentioned Tolombo.
Yes, because at the end of the day, Tolombo writes that, but I don't know the message. No. They come to the blame game.
The president's not about blame game. But he say, why did he talk to the young man? He said at some point in this country, Tolombo, if you don't want you to go to the ballot paper, was that a relevant citation or reference?
Yes, it's a relevant.
Not for politicized fight.
Yes,
but
it's relevant.
So how Tolombo connects?
Melvin.
Yeah. How Tolombo connects?
Melvin, if we go back to data, like I want this conversation to be nationalistic, but since you drive me there, if you take a look at the data here, drug carbon at this country APC 10. Drug the proliferation of Kush. My APC taker.
The government been in this country before APC 10.
No, what I mean the Kush. When they talk about Kush now, neither the thing. Drug we don't do cocaine, we don't do bram. The expert them can't talk about that.
So now APC them bring her.
My tell people I don't want to feel. No, listen. I don't want to give people judge that. I want to be. I work at the highest office of the land.
I know, of course.
So certain things I have to be choose with my work.
But you're brutally frank.
Yeah, so I'm frank. So brutally frank is a lot of people will decide. If I say APC, I have to be specific. Who done an APC bringer? That's a whole political. That's a whole political.
You are saying
I don't want to be indicted.
My brother is under APC administration. So hold it. My question here is 2014 agreed you with all
check the facts. Because you know check facts, right? You check I said that. BBC reported on that.
I am coming to that. So agreed that 2014 there are reports that there was presence of Kush in Sierra Leone. Wait, Mike. The Kush will be in 2014. In prevalence, 2014. And in 2025. Not the same?
In fact, let me tell you, it's even 3,000% high.
Now,
the data. where they release way pop high. So listen,
it don't increase.
Smack.
So let me say, SMB lost control.
So listen,
the
argument is, and I be even one talk that now when you drag me.
No. The argument is
the argument is we as a government we are taking responsibility. Enough for Biso, Melvin. You get what I mean? Enough for high. Even though now APC come, yes, we for take responsibility for reduce them. We for take responsibility for reduce them. That is what responsible governments do. Because one of the key things we big five changes now human capital development. So drugs are a threat to the young people of this country. So we take responsibility for that. But what do we not like?
But the panel apologize.
What's in the panel apologize for?
Just make that mommy no more say enough
apology.
Apology. What's in this month for the picking you crying?
What's in?
He said that not for happening, but I don't know.
What's in the panel apologize for?
He make that mommy, when that mommy be the cry, you know, see her. But mama did not cry. I believe they will make the people of Sierra Leone.
Well, apology. Listen, apology is not just words. You have intrinsic apology, you have extrinsic apology.
The crowd was very passionate, I think.
So you can tell. And there was even a video I released that is viral, where it do at the World Food Day, where it talk, even president went, not to that that was not the highlight of the session. It was about agriculture. Talk about what things alone do against them. How don't reduce rice importation at this country. How production don't go up. How this
people apology for the way.
What's in the power people apology?
Because you don't agree with me, say from 2014 to 2025, the game don't big. Cushion wrong.
Yeah, but all over the world.
No, but the way I don't
in fact, call other people then and go tell you, say, the latest reports we come on Melvin. You research, look it out. Impact in the sub-region Sierra Leone is less. It's less. And even exponentially, you take the UN drug report.
Mike.
The UN drug report. 23 million new intake of drug users across the country.
But we don't have data here as to how many new drug users we have. So how can we be saying?
So all landing where they fed drug, all landing are part of the policy.
We never give you a break.
Anyways, we'll come and continue from that part. I have to say you don't come in with data and research documents, and we will come look at some figures when we come back. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
All right.
Africanian people, guess what time it is? This is the time for grab your swimsuit, brush jean and tank top, because a big fiesta is back again. This year, we go take you to the poolside. So are you ready for this Splash Ref edition? With close to good sound and a night full of energy. The big fiesta will take place now Paradise City, Aberdeen Beach. Mark your calendar for Saturday, November 8th. Just 12 o'clock afternoon. Everything gonna begin. Ordinary ticket now 100 euros standard. VIP 200 euros. It's gonna be a non-stop vibe, classic performance from different artists to grace the stage. Relax and enjoy quality entertainment with top-class DJs and fantastic crazy pool game setting. Saturday, November 8th. You and me, now you lost. So join us make history with a big radio, with crazy brush jeans and make a splash together. Stay tuned for more updates. Right at Epic Radio. Trust me, this one there for be epic for real. Epic Fiesta, Splash Ref edition. Splash and chill.
Epic Fiesta, Epic Fiesta, Epic Fiesta.
Fiesta.
Hey yo, my Africanian people, guess what time it is? This is the time for grab your swimsuit, brush jean and tank top, because a big fiesta is back again. This year, we go take you to the poolside. So are you ready for this Splash Ref edition? With close to good sound and a night full of energy. The big fiesta go take place now Paradise City, Aberdeen Beach. Mark your calendar for Saturday, November 8th. Just 12 o'clock afternoon. Everything gonna begin. Ordinary ticket now 100 euros standard. VIP 200 euros. It's gonna be a non-stop vibe, classic performance from different artists to grace the stage. Relax and enjoy quality entertainment with top-class DJs and fantastic crazy pool game setting. Saturday, November 8th. You will miss that you lost. So join us make easy with a big radio with crazy branches and make a splash together. Stay tuned for more updates. Guides are Epic Radio. Trust me, this one day for be epic for real. Epic Fiesta Splash Rap Edition. Splash and chill.
Epic Fiesta, Epic Fiesta, Epic Fiesta.
You don't tire for your boku talk with no substance or sweet talk with plenty lie inside. Then now, na the term for strip the headlines bare and tell the story just like it is. Brutally frank goes where others won't, exposing the real.
Back to Brutally Frank on Slik Television Channel 37, where they discuss President Bio's visit na the Kush Rehabilitation Center, and also we get for look at Francis Ben Kelfala in, touting that there is a need for death penalty when it comes to the subject matter. But we will hear a lot from Mike Begawa, Director of Communications State House, and one for saying a pleasure for get him, and he's still there with me at the studio, but one for go over now to a civil society voice. A voice where we expected to be independent in giving outside of the box opinion on what government they do. The role of the civil society now for all government into account, and that's why Abib Taigore Kamara, Executive Director of Social Linkages for Youth Development and Child Link, they with me at the studio. Mr. Kamara, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you.
Mr. Kamara, be brutally frank. From what you hear from the Director of Communications in terms of government intervention in solving the problem, what do you think?
Some side in the way it talk way a local but to me, the Presidential Task Force and where President Bio in the 4th of April last year, 2024. For not more than this time, and the expectation of people, since we don't the age now in Sierra Leone, from 2014 to now, now the 3 presidential declarations we don't see on public head. One was 2014, which was the Ebola, and the second one was 2019, which is the Corona, and the third one, this substance abuse. And as I say, all media houses don't even get a jingle. No media house don't get a jingle in this country really talk about the present presidential declaration. The first declaration, President give 5 thematic areas. This second one back na 5 thematic areas it don't give. And those thematic areas where it give, the rating for those thematic areas, like 1 area, 2 areas in the way are really annoying of. Where has been signed.
One prevention. How you rate prevention?
Prevention. Prevention to me is 2%. Why?
2% out of 5?
Out of 10.
Okay. Why?
Because prevention, now they stop citizens then. For me, they don't go poverty, they don't stop them from. But we know they see that prevention messages, as we see for COVID, as we see for monkeypox. During this presidential declaration around that time, monkeypox came. But monkeypox don't kill people, they reach 58. And when we see the data, though people they wouldn't say this person what he said they died, but I am happy about the health minister with a host last week Tuesday, not truth.
When you say you're happy with the health minister,
yes,
that's you are coming out to care and treatment.
Certain things anyway say about when they ask them, who are responsible for collect body? It's in the Ministry of Health. Just like ultimate border, they say through intersectorial communication. It take that what he say. Now they're supposed to do as a ministry.
I mean, you left me confused. Yes. When you say you commend the health minister.
Yeah, because he don't deny.
Admitting the problem that the problem exists is different from what actions you've taken to solve the problem.
Yes,
the minister there, hold on, is responsible to be part of the solution to the problem. So him admitting that the problem exists and being honest and being politically correct is a technical admission of also negligence to duty.
On this,
will you agree to that?
Yes, like what you don't say.
Means the Ministry of Health
in this drive where you want to take me on to, me a civil society organization, me one of the referral points to the National Task Force.
Yeah. Okay.
We are NDLA then, so we work.
Okay.
Anybody where NDLA get, hence not drug users, then they send them a facility first for run all testing.
Okay.
With that testing, they do on behalf of Sierra Leone government through the Global Fund. But the community engagement is very poor.
Yeah, we'll come to community engagement. That's the pillar 5. But yes. still on care and treatment.
The care and treatment.
If we still just get one, well, I start for
the Ministry of Social Welfare, the Ministry of Social Welfare, through everything, like the starting of that place, some of us were so involved. We have people who are additional professionals, we then train them on behalf of Sierra Leone government through under National Drug Law Enforcement Agency.
Okay.
Be they give their support.
Okay.
It came to a time, nearly about 20 to 30 of those personnel, they all dropped down tools.
Why?
Because of it is a response. Any response the government don't give, there is a budget for it. That is the reason President they make a public health emergency. If they do that announcement, one, it don't inform the legislative, the finance minister, and they offer budget to work on. And the presidency when they put per COVID, we don't see how they put per this drug issue.
So government not put enough financial resources on the fight.
And my brother just say resources.
No,
there has been.
I'm being specific.
There
financial
been
budgets.
Budgets.
Yeah, government not put enough budget.
But there's not enough budget. Like currently, my hometown, now they get a US rehabilitation center, Daru.
Okay.
I was there 2 weeks ago. That place has been given to government, but no rehabilitation has not yet done to that facility to admit people of the needs.
Are you saying it's not operational?
It's not operational.
And what about the one at Teko Barracks?
The one at Teko Barracks too is on operation, not just the Buru, na Gudama.
Okay. So what do you think from a civil society perspective that then facility away for rehab, then a military complex?
President in first speech where he say about then facility here, it could have been in the 16 geographical districts.
Okay. So MYK, from the civil society, Mr. Abib say President be promised say then rehab center for the 16 districts. Why not?
Yeah, I agree. There was a proposal during presidency in 5 strategic pillars. 1 district, 1 rehab centers. So we started. Okay. That's why you find out. There was one in Bo, there was one in Putloko, there was one in Twin Western area. So we started. Melvin, resources, money.
Okay.
Now resources. I know they can't sit down and you say yes, government don't pay priorities to drug and all that. It's resources. Government still get challenges with maternal mortality that is continuing.
Thank you.
We still get challenges with malaria, picking away the dying of malaria.
Thank you, Mike. I come back to you. Mr. Habib, the video on media on your assessment on the pillars. So you praise. You say prevention at 2%, and when it comes to care and treatment, how much percent should you get?
Care and treatment to dinner that same percentage.
2%.
Yeah, because
okay. Explain, please. Let me just. What about social services support?
All those are lacking. As
Law enforcement. Is it not 2%?
Law enforcement. Law enforcement, to me,
2, 1 or 0 or 5?
It's 2, but all government from the creation of NDLA to the current government has not treated NDLA very serious.
All right. MYK, you are itching, please.
And it is the TRC, when we manual, we recommend. We feel like as a country, we Pakaba say that day, war London.
Why?
Why? We just did about DDR. Disarmament, demobilization, reintegration, and resettlement. We don't talk anything about rehabilitation. But if you go to TRC report, chapter 4, tell me say 85% of those who fought the war, they use substance abuse.
It was the report say, in fact, some of them they give them for morale booster.
Yes,
all the factions.
That NDA report was the manual we Pakaba look at in 2001 through, you know what I'm saying, where we get NDLA. But from when NDLA don't open, NDLA don't get more than 15 staff who are paid by government of Sierra Leone from Pakaba in this. Now, based on the pressures where some of we put and the pressure where this drug don't put. If NDLA gets staff there.
Is the right man at the end of affairs at NDLA?
Currently, that man has passion.
No, when I mean passion, in terms of
moving the affairs.
Of course, you know, I was in Paris before I was. Hold on. If you are a personality where ACC get for investigate on gifts issue, and you are leading the fight against the powerful cartel drug, can that be the right person?
I am not diving on any.
Be brutally frank.
Be brutally frank for the country.
And the right man in charge?
That has been an alleged matter. That man don't go through that matter, and the official responsible don't waive that from him. So
it's not relevant.
It's not relevant of this one.
Of his leadership.
Of his leadership. But the passion when he gets, that man, they're gonna feed personally, they put in your resources to the users. And we get for this is brutally frank. But this budget we just done. You have follow everything, but they don't ever invite NDLA.
For what?
For budget hearing.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. The personnel is here, I will tell you.
Okay, we can't explain for themselves.
So if that don't happen,
because you are saying, hold on, Abi, you technically like the Ministry of Finance that they're not invited.
Yes, their priority. Certain times when you talk to people of Ministry of Finance, they say drug issues not a priority.
So
people are saying drug issues not priority.
So are you saying the government is paying a lip service to the fight against drugs?
Yeah,
you say people in the Ministry of Finance say government is not a priority, and the Ministry of Finance is the lifeline of the operational government.
So that's
talking about the government you talk to?
That indictment, why will NDLA be there for a month? They don't get resources for pay like this.
No money. I mean, government ministry will not get really pay like below.
It's priority. It's priorities day. Prioritized ministries are not.
Are you saying NDL will not get million lights?
The director in first 3 months when he waited say he put resources for buy. My brother, you see this this drug related issue, just like how my brother they say, it is hard. If not so the narrative they go. It go hard for more maximize or reduce drug-related issues.
5 key recommendations from you.
The 5 key
from you personally, from a civil
the 5 key recommendations, like the current recommendations where President Nongi, the one who are studying in Kenya when they do, seizing properties.
It's not new in Sierra Leone.
Seizing his property, no, they don't want to seize anybody. When they deal with drugs in property in this country.
Agreed. But that not mean
if you don't put emphasis on that, maybe you cannot rent your residence to somebody and your house is at stake again for a sleep day, Ago they said drugs related issues.
Yeah, but it's in the act. So why you blame
it is not the act, but we get
police. Hold on. If police they say they arrest people living as traffickers or drug lords and barons, and at the end of the day, police charge them, go to court, and at the end of the day, the judiciary, because of virtue of them getting legal terms, say beyond all reasonable doubt, all will find that person guilty, and the person end up for work free. Who do you blame for?
It will happen. Like currently to the judiciary is using 2 acts in terms of trying those. Then they use the 2001 Pharmacy Act. We get a minute penalties. But the 2008 Act, to me, I say, it came under certificate of emergency. By then, you don't just start for report in Parliament. In 2008, when the cocaine plane landed from Venezuela to this country, there was no act for more able to try the one they wake up with the cocaine plane. The then Parliament and the then government, under a week, under certificate of emergency.
Who said that cocaine plane cancel?
It can a land.
Mike, please.
That cocaine plane.
Please proceed.
The cocaine plane.
Please proceed.
I know where I'm in 2008. It was then that law came under 1 week under certificate of emergency. So you cannot trivialize most part of best practice of drug policy. They left out. Like what they do, harm reduction.
No, when you say trivialize, I get a duty of care now. Okay, when you say trivialize, you are suggesting that a certificate of emergency is not legal.
It's legal.
So what is trivial about it?
Trivial means there are so many things when we don't know this law.
For example,
one, harm reduction.
What?
Harm reduction. Provided in drugs, we have free and
when you say you mean
harm. HARM.
Okay.
It is a release the harms from the drug users, like the work I do currently. By right, I'm not supposed to do that wrong because the current 2008 Drug Act can indict me as a civil society. Why they use that word? In 2016, countries like Sierra Leone signed what we call the UNGAS agreement. We have the 120 agreements we harm reduction at number 3, that all countries will practice harm reduction.
Okay.
Again, we get harm reduction, we get supply reduction, and demand reduction. Demand reduction, na NDLA right to do demand reduction. But NDLA no even get Bashiku for run this street and city or Okada.
Are you sure?
Yes.
All right.
So we are seriousness day as a country. Some country the way we reach first. Now the airport you see the presence of NDLA.
You answer we airport not get.
Now we don't get that. Less than 4 months, then we don't get personnel a day. With this current administration,
Mr. Habib, let's be.
Not let's be. But how
did they get drug law? Now if we're not going to get drug law enforcers, then they
don't go there.
How can confiscate the cocaine plane?
The cocaine plane, you let those days because of who got the put down and president arrived and the program arrived and said the plane arrived.
It can't be correct for you say there is no law.
This is my brother, you are a journalist. For you, we don't get this from me. From you for take a what you said now. I have great respect for you, Melvin, for your investigation, your investigative journalism. Nothing what you need for. Nothing what you need. Now, kai in time, you don't able say.
Thank you.
We don't able say na Wataki and Lungi.
Okay.
Me man, in terms of drug business, na my own profession. You know why make I take drug issue?
No, before you can, I just want to wrap up on what can be done to strengthen.
What can be done to strengthen? The president don't say a special court. That special court, the CJ need for tell all the magistrates the way they put in that special court and they judge them for more use the 2008 Drug Act. Because now they won't person for 20,000 drugs. Then when you go in court, they go use the 2001 Drug Act. Where in fine at 1,000.
But there's a new law. The new law,
they don't use that. Now for that we say.
Whose duty is it to use?
It is the judiciary. The judiciary needs now to tell the colleagues them when they sit down at the bench that any drug issue when they come, may they use the 2008 drug law. If now the 2001 drug law, we not go get any corporate when they go prison because that person you hold up for 50 million. Say that 2001. Hence now in. They charge her with na court. It will come out tomorrow. Why make 3 weeks ago they hold somebody, a drug baron, na Juba, all man before say that person they go with safe. That person go come on. He can. He hold social media. Waiting money go tie up. That is a very big slap.
What is this person?
It is on social media. I will forward it to you.
What are the person? Tell from them. Because the person talk about naming and shaming.
I should not name that person right now.
So how can we?
But I'm talking about no, my brother.
The
president is saying this.
Yeah, the president
president don't say this. For the first one, we give 5 things then, where we not adhere to, where even the responding not adhere to that.
Okay.
My security is so permanent to me.
So you're afraid?
Yes, I'm afraid. Possible. I have the children.
So how afraid to afraid?
I'm not afraid for show person, and I'm not afraid on what's going to happen. But Melvin, as a journalist, but good thing they. So
the president say no points. The people are for the points in the community. You afraid for doa?
No. If this president, the president don't talk, we see him. He come on from government people that begin to am. Why make community?
Okay.
Why make community? If you talk to the community go tell you say, and we like their stake. Where NDLA go now, Godrich, they talk to one stakeholder. You know what one stakeholder say?
See me producer the signal me. So technically, in some way, you are saying that within the government they preach, not say they practice. When it comes to
my brother, we are all in Sierra Leone. We have 1 year, 7 months. If what the president do Thursday, if he don't do one 2 or 3 times in the first of in which he said, we know for don't see this kind of thing here now.
Has he failed? Is he failing?
The first process of the what he said don't fail because we are happy where we go now. We get 4,150. We don't register for go at the rehab center.
Yeah.
But because of resources, now just out of this, 400.
And for you, that's a failure.
That's a failure. The percentage. And this percentage is telling you 65 of those that has been registered to fight this fight are tertiary education. But before I go, this is the reports.
Published by who?
Published by Global Alliance.
Thank you.
Trans-organized crime.
Okay.
On testing the ingredients in Kush.
Thank you.
So now
thank you very much.
We have to inform Sierra Leoneans the ingredients in Kush. One is synthetic marijuana, cannabino, and nitazene. Nitazene is 20 to 50 times potent past the fentanyl in the world.
Thank you very much, Mr. Habib Kamara.
Yes,
and in a civil society voice, very profound one when it comes to the war on drugs and substance abuse over time in Salone. If we don't give you insights, if we give you assessment on what the government don't do, and if we don't give you brutal frank opinion and also suggestions as to what can be done. The show, now brutally frank, we'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll get the final segment where we'll get NYK Mike Bera alongside the director of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. That's in the reach. I'm going to take a short break.
Fiesta. Fiesta. Fiesta.
Hey, yo, my Fritonian people, guess what time it is? This is the time for grab your swimsuit, bronze and tank top, because a big fiesta is back again. This year, we go take you to the poolside. So are you ready for the Splash Rave edition? With non-stop good sound and a night full of energy. The big fiesta go take place now Paradise City, Aberdeen Beach. Mark your calendar for Saturday, November 8th. Just 12 o'clock afternoon. Everything gonna begin. Ordinary ticket now 100 euros standard. VIP 200 euros. It's gonna be a non-stop vibe, classic performance from different artists to grace the stage. Relax and enjoy quality entertainment with top-class DJs and fantastic crazy pool game setting. Saturday, November 8th. You and me, now you lost. So join us, make easy with a big radio with crazy bronze and make a splash together. Stay tuned for more updates. Guides are Epic Radio. Trust me, this one can for be epic for real. Epic Fiesta, Splash Rave Edition. Splash, and chill.
Epic
people, guess what time it is? This is the time for grab your swimsuit, brush jean and tank top, because a big fiesta is back again. This year, we go take you to the poolside. So are you ready for the Splash Game edition? With close to good sound and a night full of energy. The big fiesta will take place now Paradise City, Aberdeen Beach. Mark your calendar for Saturday, November 8th. Just 12 o'clock afternoon. Everything gonna begin. Ordinary ticket now 100 euros standard. VIP 200 euros. It's gonna be a non-stop vibe, classic performance from different artists to grace the stage. Relax and enjoy quality entertainment with top-class DJs and fantastic crazy pool game setting. Saturday, November 8th. You will miss that you lost. So join us make easy with a big radio with crazy broadcast and make a splash together. Stay tuned for more updates. Right at Epic Radio. Trust me, this one get for be epic for real. Epic Fiesta Splash Game Edition. Splash and chill.
Epic Fiesta, Epic Fiesta, Epic Fiesta.
You don't tire for your boku talk with no substance or sweet talk with plenty lie inside. Then now, na the time for strip the headlines there and tell the story just like it is. Brutally Frank goes where others won't, exposing the real stories behind the headlines.
We tackle issues of maximum importance to the growth of Sierra Leone, from politics to the economy, agriculture, education, health, and tourism.
By serving as your voice in asking.
Welcome back to the show, your show, and everybody's show, Brutally Frank on Slik television, as we discuss a forensic look into President Bio's visit to the Kush Rehabilitation Center and Francis Ben Kelfala's comments on death penalty for Kush dealers and traders. And now we want to go back inside government. Of course, we get now the studio Mike Bewa, Director of Communications to State House, and before that we don't get Mr. Abid Kamara, Executive Director for a civil society organization, will give you an outsider's perspective, or would the inside back. But of course, always as the gatekeeper, we are inside out, outside in, and at this point I want to bring in no less a person, Ibrahim Samuel Duba. The family as a means of correction, which is in our flyer in terms of designation, we're going to get small alteration because I've just been informed. That they are in another capacity. So, Mr. Duba, welcome to Brutally Frank.
Yeah, family Onadu, Brutally Frank. Welcome. Thank you very much for having me again.
And I've been noticing that NDLE the last time was we talk for.
Yeah.
But today they get all awards in another institution. A new job you get?
No, well, this is a national task force, and the national task force now on drug and substance abuse. And mind you, the president in executive order don't declare the national task force for the special security operation units. So, which means we all will be there under that task force pillar, especially the law enforcement. We don't be upscaled to the special operational units, which means personnel that don't increase, the level of the way we defend the war against kush or oil form of drugs, they don't upscale, and it means plenty hard hoc groups and don't be involved. Today will not be get the ONS involved. Now we don't get the ONS involved. Today will not be get much army personnel involved. Now we don't get increased number of army personnel involved. Today we began small scale of police officers there. Now we don't get increased number of police personnel. Now we get NPHA part of the fight. We get the Ministry of Health, Education wing part of the fight, which all be there, but now they're all the part of the community engagement, and we continue 3 phases. Of course, we don't just do the first phase when be the community engagement, and then the second phase we would also don't execute when be for identify 40 severely wounded, and the one there with sores, cancer sores, for the 40 bed now SLPTH, we don't successfully do. Then we also don't add another 45 people who pick from the streets. We not go through the screening process of the usual registration of the Ministry of Social Welfare for add them up to the rehabilitation, which makes the rehabilitation composition this time around increased. And that means this is a robust and more intense fight now.
Robust and more intense fights. And somebody asked how robust in terms of, you say, personnel increase. How much not being get almost personnel now? That's another incident of use.
So we get 30 military personnel, then we get 40 police. Now we don't increase the military personnel from 30, then give us additional 60 plus 3 senior ranks, which makes now 93 military personnel. And then the police will get 40, and then they don't increase another 30, we don't make now 70. And also the ONS don't coincide, we don't give you some other intelligence officers them, which means this fight get for be more intelligence led.
Okay.
And of course, now that way it's supposed to be, if we be more intelligence led, and we get more people for camp face the law.
I will come to the law enforcement specifics, but now that we get increased personnel, what's the level of upscaling of the budget? It's not in terms of how much not don't get now.
I would have loved to go to budgets, but I'm not privy to that right now. And I hope by next time we are going to be invited here, I will really be privy to that from here. I will get to.
You not be asked the FO for financial on the fight?
I say, Melvin, you're an investigative journalist.
No, it's not privy.
Okay, I'm not privy to them now.
In what way?
I don't request for that.
Why you not request?
Because I not be expect we conversation for be reached to that level. We conversation I be feel say for be based on waiting we don't do, or maybe waiting they do. But even as that, with security mindedness or mindfulness, not everything we intend for do, I therefore can begin the talk now.
Yeah, but it's an open secret that budget has been a problem and a complaint. For example, NDLA,
fine.
We are the civil society man. So if we are talking about now that it's upscale, I think we need to get facts and data on almost couple add in the fight.
The thing is, and like I tell you, NDLA, I'm
talking about task force now.
Fine. Yeah. So when they tell you about a structure of this nature, definitely money good on kai inside. But that money, no, they can't say na NDLA.
No, NDLA.
No, I'm coming. You know they can't say na NDLA. It account for the operation of this special security operational units.
Okay.
And not just count for special operational units. Whatever budget we don't inside, it also get for cover for the social and rehabilitation facilities. It get for cover for community engagement. It get for cover for treatment and care. And it get for cover for risk communications.
Okay. Now that you are an expert, by virtue of your involvement and your experience over time, you use one word. Say severely wounded with cancer. Well, I will use the word cancerous sores. Them people in the world is so. They don't test them for no say they are cancerous.
Well, when they say cancerous, not necessarily mean say they get for go test them. But the peak of some of the sores them, for example, when we happen for go Funkia community, I guess when I see the video went viral, the Funkia community people in fact You see where the Makituma, they all be this clap, sing, Kush must go. Because themselves, they don't tire with them, so foot them, we be the man and them, the young man, them, and young woman, them, na the funkia waff. It would surprise you, Melvin, for see some of the souls them almost don't eat, the flesh don't eat to the bone. You understand?
Yeah.
And some of them thing and they really, we give Kisi big work, but I go implore you for go see na Kisi, may see how some of them people and they don't transform within this short while. Mickey always tell people, they say there is hope. Hope, in a sense, the treatment for addiction now a very capital intensive project, both at rehabilitation and at the treatment and care facilities.
How much will it take for rehabilitate one abuser or victim?
Now, I'm not going to tell you the quantum in terms of figure per person.
How long will it take?
But I'm telling you,
you've answered your question.
Rehabilitation,
you've answered the question.
Rehabilitation, in the first and foremost case, is a continuous process.
Okay, so
now a process where in a BC, not only the center you get all the recovery. Recovery of itself is a journey.
You have inpatient and outpatient rehabilitation.
I am coming.
No, please don't tell the agenda for the gatekeeper, please.
The agenda for the gatekeeper.
Because you expect question. Hold on.
The gatekeeper have to give audience.
I have to. I will always do.
Fine.
Can you answer my question?
Yes, sir.
What are the time frame for the as inpatients in the rehabilitation facility?
In a standard rehabilitation facility.
The one where the president go visit.
The one where you go, na 7 weeks.
7 weeks. Okay.
Na 7 weeks. Okay. But mind you, this is an emergency. Within this emergency, one will see where how many people go get the opportunity, you understand, for at least be taken out of the substance. Because when somebody don't get, when you look at the science of addiction, the dopamine and the increase and the tolerance for the substance, they increase. So the dopamine, no dopamine na the brain neuron cells where the brain they secrete, where they give the urge and cravings
for the
substance.
They call it jokes.
No, what do you call jokes? Now we are in. You not get the substance for a day or time for usual time week you take up. Now that 10 day you get that dopamine. Now that 10 day you get that jokes with the talk so. Jokes are like
those two different.
Yes. Jokes now the time where you day in between. In fact, in medicine we don't call them jokes. It's like half-life. You understand?
No, we get a medical person there.
So fine.
You can
call half-life.
Okay.
Then at the time in between where you not take the substance, you understand?
Yeah.
And where you go through that cravings period for them. So that time frame, you understand? Now you they call jokes. But that time the way they talk so, it's quite different as the way we possibly go through withdrawal. You understand? The withdrawal process, not to something where it be say, or rehabilitation, I ain't go mend everything. Now, like when I say somebody gets a particular condition, that condition, they not go be cured automatic, but they maintain them. And therefore, continuously, they see how you manage that condition. So, in fact, in the process of treatment of substance use, automatically we need to expect people to say they go well in that rehabilitation. The rehabilitation and for just help you wherein you not be able to cope without the substance, but you don't go there for some side for 7 weeks, they don't detox you, and you're able now to live or cope without the substance, and they give some coping strategies.
Thank you very much. You mentioned God age. When I had used for transition over to MYK, you say God age people they celebrate, but there were also reports of some them book managers say age youths or these girls people like when they say we want put according to reports, in the protests.
The protests will be the happen. We absolutely not to against we. There be the protest. There was already an uprising riots who meet between the youths them. You get youths that will be say among themselves. They be already don't form anti-drugs units to themselves and God is
sort of vigilante.
Okay. So then be they go.
Is the use of vigilantes accepted in the fight against drugs now?
No, we don't use word like vigilante. We don't create something within the task force we call CADAV, Community Anti-Drug Advocacy Volunteers. The powers of the Community Anti-Drug Advocacy Volunteers, they advocate for one, for people who are severely addicted, for transition them within the process of the addiction to a treatment facility.
Then the powers for, yes?
Then they arrest.
Okay, thank you very much.
Then they arrest.
MIK, I've been kind of so interested with the party, if not for bring the military itself and bring them on board, but I'm not going to use gun. I wonder, how do Germany work without gun?
Yeah, well, possible.
How?
It's like by enforcing the law. So Germany also get policies. You get to Germany, we learn book. You know, they even hook on their hands. You know, maybe probably passing a rifle. And the military in this country, one thing I want you to understand back in Melbourne is anytime there is an epidemic, the military, they come in. Ebola happened, COVID, America, when you declare, as you declare epidemics in a state of emergency and a security concern, right? So that's how the military comes in. The military then gets epidemiologists, then they get doctors, they get public health specialists, then they get a component who are well trained for handling things. And sometimes they are swift, they are dedicated. It's not like the police, no yebulu.
Because another thing, because the part in context, like inside the police don't tire. The military can come back.
No, then they combine them. It's joint forces. So part of
inside police don't tire. What's Germany can? What's the can for?
Yeah, well, their own approach can be different. Maybe it will be more robust. You understand what I'm saying? You also the two units can get different powers. For instance,
why bring in the military? We're responsible for territorial integrity, not internal security.
No, they get what they do. Militaries and get hospital. Militaries and get engineers. Then they make hoops. Then they make farm now. They see them to do that. So it's not only protecting our borders. But if you look at the two mandates of them, I mean, police are dealing more prosecution.
Yeah.
Right? You see police go prosecute you. The military, now you get a small unit, where that's the military police. Now they deal with all that. But the military is more of a gun action, like gun raids. You understand what I'm saying? With all that. So, President...
What is the point for militarize the fight on drugs?
It's militarized already. Because at the end of the day, like I tell you, when there's an epidemic, when there's a national emergency, right there is a national threat. So that's how the military come in. Right? They take control.
I still can't wrap my head around using Sojama when I get gun.
No, well, it don't matter. You see, it's
don't remember that when called toy soldiers.
No.
Are they gonna be toy soldiers?
No. There's a lot they can do in coordination.
Okay.
You understand? It's not just maybe they have to go out with OSDs them for good rate. That could be one part of their job, but another part of it, even coordination. Care treatment. Now, if you look at the rehabilitation centers, then most of them are military barracks. Then who do you think are going to take care of them? Military police, military doctors, military nurses, military public health specialists, environmentalists. Them. So it's a great coordination for bring them on board. Work with the police, learn from each other, coordinate better, for all get a robust response.
So technically, somebody could say, well, we call a rehabilitation center. Is this another form of military concentration camp?
Yeah, but you have to understand, say, these people...
Because the facilities are enlarged in military facilities.
Okay, so this is...
stand for me correct.
So this is one thing you have to also understand. Say, in certain situations, Melvin, you have voluntary and non-voluntary rehabilitation. You get some man in there, you like, not a good.
Some man a pauper.
Pauper, you get to so man, if you don't go now, you go popularize. So when you go, bro, inside 2-3 gallant man and they mount you, you don't go. So man, maybe me, you know, we all see so Japan. So Japan will come to bro. If you say personal money, you go. I'm not saying I'm going. So we pray that we don't generates to that.
Exactly.
Right, because
human rights abuses.
Yeah, that is one. And also these people.
How do you safeguard that?
So that's why they are trained. Like I make mention of that.
You come in shortly, Mr. Dugba. Just take
I
note.
want the gatekeeper to understand a few things.
I will come to you, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, I like.
So it's like we pray that because these people are also victims, Melvin. If you look at my Facebook post since 2022-23, I don't say the greatest threat we'll get in this country, not drug abuse. And if you look at with my mental health background where I worked in the US, the third largest mental health hospital in the world, in a Western State Hospital. I get over 150,000 people them waited in one place where they deal with mental health and addiction. So I'm familiar. This is not sickness.
That place get the biggest drug problem in the world.
Yes. So Melvin, one thing people to understand back, this mental that's sickness. I really want to talk about dopamine and all. That's sickness back, like how you get malaria and everything. That's sickness. Neurological problem.
Yeah, but caused by some social causes also, because the president talk about sufferation.
Yes.
It's not to show the alternative for sufferation.
I totally agree.
So we want to sufferation high.
So this is why we as a community also not for treat them as outcasts, because there is a difference between guilt and shame. Melvin, yeah. Melvin, what thing they make you left something not to shame not guilt. If you can't, you shame them, you beat them, like all people them for get likes, for the put them post on social media without them consent. All them things they get them. So if you watch what they do, it's like they gather together outside the all people. Then they go on the bridge, then they isolate
on the ground.
Yes. From the society. So one way we can help this is community engagement. How do we do that? We will tell you, say, if I get somebody party where they take drug, I will say, I don't say not in fault. I don't go blame them. I don't go guilt them. I want to in guilt to make it left. Just like how my brother say, that reintegration and rehabilitation process, not a men and the men, you know, manage and manage. There's a difference between treatment and management. Even the medication, the naloxone and the guilt. Now for let you codependency, now they try for drop. Then you don't get the urge for go for it. But if you go back into society, you don't get something where they keep you busy. Most of them people in back, they go into the circle back, then come back. And then they call relapse.
Finally, as time the between, will you agree with the suggestion or conjecture in the form of question of the Anti-Corruption Commissioner that we need for think about restoring death penalty and implementing it on drug dealers and traffickers?
Well, if I don't find one call me, I don't know my context with background. He's a lawyer. I don't know which context.
It's a post and a question.
Yeah, I know. I saw it. Yeah. I saw it, Melvin. Yeah. But what I'm saying is like,
keep people for drug deal.
So this is my point. I don't know which context.
He was just asking.
So to me, I feel say, we don't remove the death penalty. Good for the image of this country.
He seemed to suggest that was a wrong decision.
No, well, I don't agree with him on that. He's a lawyer. I don't agree. Why I don't agree with him on that is because, one, you get a lot of mistrials that don't happen in this country and over the world. People anyway innocently they don't kill. You don't get to tell me.
Yeah, but you know, a lot of people have broke out of jail and asylum. We don't keep other people.
Yes, I understand.
How do you keep your balance?
So I understand. So we also look at the pros and the cons. It's a heated debate around the world. You understand what I'm saying? But more countries now they turn away from that. You understand? Yes, I agree.
United States, US states are still maintaining.
Yes, but they're not just about 6.
But they're maintaining it.
Yes, but they're not because then in federal state, you have people who have different opinions on things.
So we should not kill people for drugs.
Well, I think something for stiffing our laws, then, right? So what about what's
according to you?
No, Francis is a learned colleague.
Like I said, I
cannot use the word that he's wrong. So I just said to
you don't agree with him.
So I don't agree. Agreement don't mean say wrong. It's a different perspective.
For you, you don't see it rightly.
So that's why you argue. So that's what I'm saying. I don't agree with him because I believe President Bio removing the death penalty. It taught him wise. It gets legal advisors them. It gets expert advisors them before we bring them up in the country. And I think it works fine. It respects human dignity, human rights. People that know when they get mistrials, they know they can reappeal back. You understand? Give more people second chance and all that stuff. So I don't know on which pretext, which context, which legal background.
No, I was just asking a question.
He said, I think I don't agree on that. We need to step in our laws. Seizures of properties, send some man 50 years in a prison, 20 years. Baby, some man in a 40 year, you own then you send him a prison for 80 years. If he say they come out, I know say it's hard on government, it's expensive for feeder person if he's sick, for maintenance inside prison. But at the end of the day, you torture them more. So man, they will do something we kill. I don't know. But one man, the 50th year, in the torture, 50th year, and they feel like passing
and we still have people like just like Jackass women allegedly in our
you know where it is?
Allegedly in our shows.
Well, it's alleged. So it's alleged. We don't know. There's no evidence pointing to that.
So it's not in Sierra Leone.
So there's no evidence pointing to that.
Just like Jackass is not in Sierra Leone.
There is no evidence pointing to that.
Okay. Thank you very much. It has been a brilliant conversation with Mike. And let me come over to Duba. Duba, your passing shots. You get a lot of clarifications to make, a lot of education for the gatekeeper, and above all for our audience. So you can have your mic, take it away, uninterrupted though.
So first, I start with to tell the people and say, the idea of discrimination, the idea of stigmatization, the idea of neglect of people addicted with substance abuse, not the solution to them. We need to treat them with love. It's like when policy they tell you say disability is not inability. Everybody we able presently is a potential candidate for being disabled. That's the same thing with addiction. We all would in IASO, and even who you really watch me, you know a potential candidate for become an addict of drug. Because you don't know the condition or situation where you arise in your life where you feel say the drug we will take and for numb the pain, but unfortunately you get hooked up to them. So how you want to be treated if you get hooked up into drug? Similarly, now so you get for treat that person who don't unfortunately find himself in that condition. Let me treat them with empathy, not sympathy. Let me show love and concern. That alone they help them. Bad parenting. Mama, papa, you really use for send you pikin, or buy for you cigarette, buy for you pega. That small way that they begin send that pikin. Now so they pikin the land. This not to blame game. This not to time this for begin point finger, but who that not do this or who that not do that. At the end somebody say, not choice. The pikin or the person they use to work, it began lots of other options then. The why you not choose a wise option. That student when they university, it really be one wish for making graduate and become a better citizen. But it unfortunate, it gets himself hooked up into that substance because of peer pressure or other domestic problems, but a lot of other reasons than they. Let me give time for listening to we brothers and sisters and we don't get addicted. Believe you me, recovery the work, but now we self will not get addicted it for help the one that we don't be addicted. Will help them for make them recover.
Thank you.
That are the hope what they need, that are the faith what they need for make them sure see recovery within the communities, within the families, we all for be a support group for help that recovery process happen.
Thank you very much, Mr. Duba. And also, it will be a pleasure for get Mike Berewa in the studio from State House for discuss the president visits at the rehabilitation center. And of course, Mr. Duba, I ask you, you support them for fire people away and for use death penalty for people away the traffic drug and so on?
Well,
yes or no?
I don't say I want to forgive.
No, we don't have time. Yes or no? Or we'll keep the answer for next week.
The yes or no aspect with respect to that the
death penalty for the drug.
The right to life.
Thank you very much.
People get rights to life.
Thank you very much.
By death, what if there is a misconception?
Thank you
why do you give them
very much. Francis Benke, Father not be there, ACC not been there, that's why we've not been delved too much into that. But I think on this passing and in short, I think the panel agrees that we cannot go the Rodrigo Duterte way in the fight on drugs and substance abuse. At this juncture, I want to tell you plenty thank you for when you watch me, follow me on Facebook and on the other social media handles. It will don't be brutally frank on Slik Television Channel 37. And before we get my co-host, Fortune, and thanks so much to the production and management for always bringing this platform to you. Until then, so long.
Issues of maximum importance to the growth of Sierra Leone, from politics to the economy, agriculture, education, health, and tourism.
By serving as your voice in asking the why, where, how, and when questions to the people them we responsible.
This na brutally frank.
This is Brutally Frank, showing every Sunday at 7 p.m. on Slik TV, channel 37,
and streaming live on our Facebook page and official website.